There were no cartridge cases that were found on the ground in the crime scene, at the crime scene. Is it correct?
That's correct, my lord. There were no cartridge cases found on the scene, but it does not mean that if you use a pistol, also there will be cartridge cases. It depends on your crime scene. It depends on the situation, on how it happened. As I said, in the case of a contact shot, where
in a case of a piston, where are you referring to a piston in a situation where it does not eject the cartridge case, or are you talking about the missing cartridge case after it has been ejected?
it can be that the cartridge case could be missing after it has been ejected. It can be that when the shot was fired, there was a disturbance of the slide where the slide couldn't move backward. It could not eject the fired cartridge case. The cartridge case will remain inside the firearm, where we normally call it a stoppage.
On the latter explanation, if a cartridge case is stuck inside what you call it stoppage, will it be able to fire the next shot after it is blocked inside the cartridge is blocked inside is it a caliber or what? Wait.
Inside the chamber.
Inside the chamber, sorry.
My lord, if there's a stoppage and the fire cartridge that's stuck inside the chamber, the firearm will not fire. You have to cock it so that it can eject and then you can load another one.
When you cock a firearm, that's when you're using both hands.
That's correct, my lord. That's when you pull the slide backward and then you release it to move forward.
So now let's look at the evidence, because we're talking about possibilities. Let's look at the real evidence as to what actually happened. I understand the nature of your evidence in terms of reconstructing the crime scene. But now let's look at what, when I look at my records, I saw where Musia gave a description of a 38 revolver because there were no cartridges that were found on the floor. We can't rule the possibility that it was a 38 special that was used. We can't vehemently overrule that fact that a 38 special might be used.
My lord, I will overrule that, as the only evidence that was recovered at the crime scene is the bullet of 9mm, not of 38 special.
All right. I'll get back to the statements of those people that said a 38 special was used. I'm concerned about one thing here. The incident occurred on the 10th of October, 2014. The 26th of October, 2014. Then a firearm was brought to you on the 3rd of November, 2014. And that firearm belonged to Chico. It was 7 days or 8 days after the incident happened. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree with that.
And as it has been put on record that Longwe was, being the son of Chico Twala, was also present, was also in the place where the incident took place on the night Senzo was killed. I'm just putting to you that Longwe, it is on record before this honorable court that Longwe was at the crime scene when Senzo was shot. I mean, according to the evidence of the witnesses, Longwe was the first person to leave the house before any shooting took place, according to the state witnesses.
Sorry, Mr.
Do you understand?
I want to be fair to your client and yourself. You've put two propositions now.
May I just
The first one is that Longwe shot.
Yes.
Now, the second one, you're saying Longwe exited the house before there was shooting.
Yes.
Two mutually destructive.
May I start with the first one, my lord?
No, you
I understand.
I'm just saying, I want to be fair. Don't want to
Yes.
say you contradicted yourself or you contradicted your client.
Yes. Longwe, according to the evidence of the defense, is the one who shot Senzo Meyiwa with a 38 special revolver. You won't dispute that.
My lord, if they say Longwe is the one who shot with a 38 special revolver, why do they bring the father's firearm to the lab to be tested? If it's not a 38 special, it's a pistol.
The state witnesses said Longwe was the one who exited the house, which they rebut the evidence of the witness that I'll call, for accused number one, for accused number one's defense? Who says Longwe is the one who shot the fire at Senzo?
My lord, if I have to explain some of the things, I was not surprised if they brought Chico's firearm to be tested, because there were allegations that Longwe is the one who shot with his father. So there were those allegations. So they brought the allegations so that to clear the allegations that whether it's that firearm that was used or not. It happens a lot where in different instances, like in instances where police officers are involved in the shooting. We had incidents where we found that 2 or 3 police officers were involved in the shooting, but in a group of about 10 police. Then they will take all the firearms, send them to the lab to be tested. We had such instances. Even if they bring this one, I was not surprised because I know what was happening with the investigation.
Okay. So according to, are you done, sir?
I'm done.
Okay, thanks, Colonel. Colonel, are you telling this court that these allegations are not new before? They are not new as they are put today in this court? These allegations were allegations that were made because it was 8 days in between. That means these allegations started just after the incident happened, prior to the examination of Chico's firearm.
I don't know when did they start, but I know that there were allegations that Longwe could be the one who fired with his father's firearm. And the firearm was brought to us to examine so that we can eliminate it. If it's not the correct firearm, we eliminate it. Say, no, it's not the correct firearm. Then the IO must continue to look for the correct firearm.
Yeah, but you're the one who talked about these allegations, which led to Chico's Toller's firearm being examined. When did you hear these allegations? When?
I can't say when did I hear, but
Was
I know
it in
that
2014?
It was in 2014, yes.
Thank you. You'll agree with me that there's no smoke without fire.
There's no smoke without fire.
That's correct.
Which law is that?
I suppose. No. The witness doesn't have to.
I want to. No. I just want to. I don't want to be rushed in terms of what I want to put. If I say there's no smoke without fire, it's a proverb or it's an idiom, which I use to make up a follow-up on the submissions that I'll make. If I say there's no smoke without fire, that means they can't make such allegations without the reasons.
My lord, there's many allegations which were made on this case. A lot of allegations were made.
I'm
so
talking
I cannot
precisely
say-
about Longwe. I'm talking about Longwe. I'm relating to the allegations that are attached to Longwe as the person who killed Senzo, whether accidentally or otherwise. But the fact of the matter is that these allegations are that Longwe is the one who shot Senzo using a 38 special. Let me move on. There's a witness who's coming to testify in respect of accused number one, who will tell this court that there were 3 shots that were fired. You said there were 2 shots that were fired in the house. You said there are 2 shots that were fired. Are you making that conclusion on the basis of what was found as exhibits in the crime scene?
My lord, I could only account for 2 shots which were fired. The third one, I don't know of it. If there were 3 shots fired inside the house, then the bullet fired must have hit somewhere in the house, and there was no other bullet damage that was found in the house.
Yes, that's why I'm saying, based on your conclusion, it relies on what you have found as exhibits, not on the general observation or on your independent opinion as to how many shots were fired. You relied on what you were given as exhibits that were found in the crime scene. Correct?
My lord, not on what I was given or not what was said to me, but based on the physical evidence that was there on the crime scene. It's only 2 shots fired, not 3 shots.
Let me tell you another exhibit that was not found in the crime scene. That exhibit was with Longwe until it was taken out of his foot on his ankle. Let me put it this way. There were 3 shots that were fired. I'll call that witness who will come in. Give evidence.
What's his name, if the court may know?
I may not divulge the...
Why not?
My lord,
That's the defense. Okay, but just listen to me.
yes.
You are obligated. There's no proof or onus on you to prove anything.
Yes.
But you are obligated in terms of the case of State versus Crossley, was done by my brother Maluleke, that you must put your version. Okay.
Yes, I
You're not forced, but if you don't,
May I just address the court in
Yeah,
relation
fine.
to the safety of those witnesses, my lord? their identity cannot be said openly in court because they still have to apply for the protection of such witnesses.
No, that's your own business to take care of it. I'm just telling you what the law says.
Yeah, but my lord, I may not be compelled to
No,
disclose
you are
the
not being
identity.
compelled.
Yes.
I'm
Even the
compelled.
state at some stage did not want to disclose some.
Who? This witness?
No. The state. Let me retract it. Let me just put it this way. My lord, these witnesses' identity, they asked that they should not be disclosed at this stage.
Yeah, fine.
Yes.
Fine.
This witness will tell the court that there were 3 shots that were fired in the house. The one is the one that caused an injury. Sorry? May I approach number 1?
Yes.
All right, firstly, let's clarify this aspect of the shots that were fired. The state witnesses said there were 3, I'll be precise by saying Mxolisi Dlomo. He stated that there were 3 shots that were fired. Zandi Kumalo stated that there were 3 shots that were fired. And I believe, who's the guy from Devon? Was from Devon. Tumelo Matlala. They all concluded that they gave evidence that 3 shots were fired. I'm talking about the state witnesses before I get into my witnesses. They said 3 shots were fired. You can't dispute them.
My lord, inside the house, it's only 2 shots fired. Maybe the 3rd one was fired outside the house, where you couldn't see any bullet damage or any. But inside the house, it's only 2 shots fired.
Okay. All right. Let me put this version to you, according to those witnesses that I don't want to disclose at this stage. 3 shots were fired. 1 shot is the one that caused injury to Zandi on her leg. The other shot is the one that Longwe shot himself on the leg while they were struggling for the gun. The 3rd one is the one that shot Mngomezulu. But I'm not mentioning them according to the sequence of how they happened. I mean, all these 3 shots, they caused injury to Zandi. The one was stuck in the ankle of Longwe, and the other one is the one who shot Senzo dead.
My lord, I don't know of any injuries that Longwe sustained. If he sustained any gunshot on the leg, was there an entrance and an exit of that bullet, or what happened to the bullet?
Longwe, after that incident, that wound became septic, and he went to a doctor, the late Dr. Mbatsane, who referred Longwe to Dr. Modise in Rand Hospital, where a bullet was taken from Longwe's foot.
Sorry, you say Dr. Mbatsane?
Dr. Mbatsane was the first doctor.
Right, and then Mbatsane refers the patient,
to Dr. Modise
Modise.
at Rand Hospital.
Rand
Hospital.
Okay, fine.
Do you have any comment on it?
My lord, I cannot comment on that because I don't know anything of the injuries that Longwe sustained at the scene.
I just wanted to demonstrate that there were 3 shots that were fired. And the last shot, and the other shot is the one that shot Senzo, and eventually he lost his life. There were 3 shots, not 2 shots.
My lord, I'm still repeating what I said. I can only account for 2 shots that I found at the scene. The 3rd one, I don't know.
Colonel, there's one thing that also needs to be visited in terms of the scene being contaminated. I was informed, or there's evidence before this court, that, if not mistaken, Kelly Kumalo called Chico Twala after the incident. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not aware, my lord.
All right. Now, as I've put it to you yesterday, before I conclude my cross-examination, I said there were senior officers that were at the crime scene after Senzo was shot. Are you aware of the MEC of health that was at the crime scene?
MEC of Health?
Yes, in
No, my
Gauteng.
lord, I'm not aware of that.
The scene was also attended by the late Brigadier Dlomo. Are you aware of that?
Yes, Brigadier Ndlovu, I'm aware of that.
Are you aware of the presence of General Shedrack Spear on the day of the...
My lord, I'm aware of General Sibia was at the scene also.
General Spear at that time, was he the senior? I'm just asking. If you don't know, you don't know. Was he a senior to Brigadier Ndlovu?
My lord, during the incident, General Sibia was at the Hawks, DPCI, and General Ndlovu was at the detective provincial office.
Who else can you think, or who else do you know was present, who was in a senior position, other than Shedrack Spear and Brigadier Ndlovu, and the MEC for him? Do you know?
I only know of, I heard that General Musigili was also on the scene.
So you would agree with me that these senior officials were at the crime scene, I would say, around 12 at night?
My lord, I don't know the time that they were at the scene, but what I know is General Sibia came to the scene as head of DPCI in the province,
Yes.
and General Ndlovu came to the scene as provincial head of detective on the scene.
Okay.
And General Musigili was also from the province.
Do you know if there was any communication between General Spear and Mr. Silo Chico Twala?
Any communications?
Yes.
No, my lord, I don't know them.
Was Chico Twala also on the scene, if I may be clarified?
No. I've put it long time that Chico was not there, even during the evidence of Mr. Stein. I've said it that his cell phone which was recorded in the name of Chico. Chico was not at the crime scene.
So the discussion was supposed to have taken place where?
It was a discussion, a communication between Chico Twala and General Spear. When
the scene?
General Spear was at the scene.
At the scene.
Yeah, Chico was not
Yeah,
at
you
the
can
scene.
communicate with the phone. So
Yes.
you're communicating with Chico, not on the scene.
Correct.
But Twala, Sibia at the scene.
Yes.
That's what I want to know.
That's correct.
Yes.
I just want to establish do you know whether, or did it came to your attention that General Spear also phoned Warrant Officer Makubo to attend to the crime scene?
Warrant Officer Makubu?
Yes, Mishek Makubo.
No,
He
don't
was
know.
called after 12 o'clock, 12 midnight, towards 1 in the morning, early hours in the morning.
From which section was Warrant Officer Makubu?
He's from the DPCI, from the Hawks.
My lord, what I understood was General Sibia was from the DPCI, from the Hawks. General Ndlovu was from provincial office. No, because Senzo was the national goalkeeper after the incident, DPCI came to the scene to attend the scene to find out what transpired. Maybe the docket will be theirs. So if General Sibia comes to the scene, he will call his team of investigating officers to come with him.
Yeah.
General Ndlovu also called his team of investigating officers to come to the scene.
Correct.
Only this thing was discussed at the scene. That's where the agreement was made that the provincial office will take over the docket, and then General Sibia and his members withdrew from the scene. Since then, my lord, General Sibia was never involved in the investigations. General Ndlovu and the provincial team and head office also were involved in this, but not General Sibia.
I'm talking about what happened that night. I'm not talking about general investigations. I'm saying I'll call Makubo on my defense, who will come and give evidence relating to that evidence. Makubo was called by General Sibia that night. Upon his arrival, he called him aside to assist him to reconstruct the crime scene. And certain questions, I'll tell those questions that General Sibia asked from Warrant Officer Makubo.
My lord, if he was called to reconstruct the crime scene, in what way will he reconstruct the scene?
All right. Before I get into that question that you have just posed, are you aware that Warrant Officer Makubo is investigating the docket 375 of 375 of 01/2019? Are you aware of that?
My lord, I'm aware that there was a docket open, but I don't know who was investigating that docket.
Let me get back into what will be the version of Warrant Officer Makubo. He said he was called upon his arrival. Shedrack Spear called him and asked him if he observes what has happened here, what could be his opinion. And Warrant Officer Makubo, after he has assessed this, the scene, he told General Spear there and there that there are no intruders that came here.
As the court, please, my lord. I don't know if it's proper to put hearsay evidence to this witness. If Makubo is going to testify, Warrant Officer Makubo is going to testify, he can testify about it. But to slip in hearsay evidence by General Sibia via Makubo, we submit, my lord, that that is not permissible.
Yes, Mr. Mngomezulu.
It's not hearsay because I mentioned that I'm going to call Warrant Officer Makubo. The only thing that my colleague can fix at the moment is to prepare the calling of Captain Bentley. Who's that Bentley? The one that who Bentley? Yes, the one who called Mangena to the scene. I think he should be concerned about that. Because I said I'm going to call I've called Warrant Officer Makubo, and I still have to call him on the so that cannot be a hearsay. This is what he's going to tell the court, because I put it here on record, that Makubo will tell the court that upon his observation, after he concluded checking the scene, he told Shadrach Spear there and there was no hesitation. He told Makubo that, sorry, he told General Spear that there are no intruders.
And this is, sorry, and this is after 12 o'clock?
That is after that.
And the alleged murder of
it happened
at
10, 9.
9, 8, somewhere.
9, yes.
8, 9.
That's
okay.
correct.
So he comes after 3 hours?
He comes after 3
The
hours.
house is empty?
Yes.
There are no intruders, he says?
Yes,
Okay,
no
fine.
intruders. Then he told General Spear that people that are in the house knows what happened.
My lord, I can't comment on that. I don't know anything about it.
Do you know of any meeting or a second meeting that was held at Melrose Ark? At Melrose Ark?
No, my lord, I don't know of any meetings.
Thank you, sir. Before I conclude, may I just quickly check if there's something I've omitted? Oh, lastly, my lord, may I have your permission to approach case number 1?
Yeah, fine. No problem. Do you know Melrose Arch, sir? Is there a police station there?
I don't know, my lord.
You don't know whether there's a police station there? How do you know?
The police station, not Santen.
How do you know?
Santen police station.
Melrose Arch. No, I want to know.
I know it.
Yeah, how do you know it, if you do know it?
I only know it when I pass them.
Okay.
Thank you, my lord. I have no further questions.
Thanks. Yes, Mr. Maswidi.